Welcome back to the League of Legends Amateur Summoners Tournament. I'm Tasty Bacon, joined tonight by special guest Oppression.
I'm special? Hooray!
Alright, so we are in our lobby for our second game of the day, which I totally forgot to update on the title cards. But it is going to be Elixir versus Supernova. Coming up as soon as they actually do start the game, we'll be jumping right on in to that pick and ban phase and getting ourselves underway.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a really good game. I wish I knew more about these teams, but I'm a special guest, so I'll just crawl under my rock and pretend I know what I'm doing.
So they are just getting readies out. Again, both teams are in the lobby. There's going to be Elixir on the blue side with Supernova on the red. And they are just getting readies out. I think they're trying to figure out who actually has the button because it's apparently difficult to see big orange buttons as they start game.
Come on, monkey. Talking all that stuff about how Elixir's the best team in the world.
There we go.
Yay!
Finally getting on over to the picks and ban phase. So this is, of course, an incredibly important game for Supernova, as they are still currently tied for first place in Division D with Team Cave Gaming. So the win here puts the pressure on Team Cave to have to win their game later this week. And of course, Elixir, they could be a big wild card here because they were not originally in this tournament. They have filled in for the team Dream Tech, I believe it was Dream Tech Gaming that they are filling in for. So unfortunately, they had to inherit their record, which was 0-4, I believe, on the season. So they are sitting at the bottom of Division D, but they're just playing for fun. And that can be some of the most scary things. If a team's not playing for anything, you never know what they're gonna pull out, or they can end up completely throwing a monkey wrench into this entire division because of the fact that they have that sort of unknown factor to them.
So what you're saying is they're unicorns of love, because I see a poppy ban.
You never know. But it is Gragas, Malphite, Kennen, Zed, Poppy, and Callista all taken off the board. Of course, on the side of Elixir, it is neither team is in LCS order. Just need to go ahead and make that known. Yeah, both of them big letdown. Although actually, I'm looking at it here and it looks like Elixir might actually be, but they are using a sub, so you never know. They may have just swapped up their entire roster because of that. However, over on the side of Supernova, they are definitely not in their LCS order. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean because that's their jungler and the support as the first two picks there. Tyler Coombs and Based are the jungle and support for Supernova. And Let's Get Physical is their mid laner. Definitely Joking is their AD carry, and White Gecko is their top laner. Again, on the side of Elixir, according to their roster, Palio's back as their top laner, with Shy Jim in the mid lane, Mean Dean as the AD carry, and Monkey Livin is the support. But Glacier is a sub. So Glacier might be filling in the jungle, which would put them in LCS order, but he could also be filling in for another role, and then they're just all swapped over all over the place. So we'll have to wait and see for them.
I'm just betting they're trying to make you mad. Just like when I casted, team bought 7 Aegises because I complained about 2 Aegises was too many. So they bought 7.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've got nothing for that one.
I was just like, bruh, 2 Aegis is too many. They're like, oh, really? And then they bought 4 more on their Cho'Gath. Their AD carry bought one. I'm like, stop!
So, looking at the picks thus far, we do have Nautilus, Maokai, and Heimerdinger for the side of Elixir. Already building up a very strong laning team. It's very difficult to lane against that Nautilus, and if he is the support, Maokai, of course, being one of those top laners, it just kind of, you can bully him all you want, but you're not going to get a kill on him. He's just so tanky that he can play super safe all game. And then looking over on the side of Supernova, we have Rek'Sai, Thresh, and Ziggs. So a little bit more defensive, I feel, with the Ziggs being the mid lane. He's definitely one that's just kind of known for stalling out games forever with his wave clear. And it is actually
makes sense.
It is going to be the Jinx getting locked in, which Jinx, one of my favorite AD carries, just because of honestly considered one of the stronger AD carries in the game, just because of her massive late game potential and her ability to just completely destroy buildings.
Yeah, Jinx goes into that minigun form and just kind of pews for about 7 years. Just shreds through things, especially if she has actually a real front line to defend for her. As long as she can get excited just one time in a team fight, she can just slowly fly through the team fight, making sure that she stays safe. But with Rek'Sai and Thresh is going to be able to peel, but I feel Rek'Sai is going to be more of that dive oriented. She might have a bit of an issue if blue team's comp does what it's meant to. I have no idea what you're looking at because my client crashed, so I'm gonna assume it's pretty troll.
So Elixir just locked in Vayne and Urgot.
Okay. This might be a very long stretch, but maybe it's like 80 carry Vayne, support Nautilus, top Urgot, Heimerdinger mid.
Heimerdinger top, Urgot mid with Maokai in the jungle.
Yeah, it could do something, okay?
That's what I'm going to assume it's going to be, but that's definitely a bit unconventional.
Yeah, only slightly.
Looking on the side of Supernova, they're hovering over the Scion for their last pick.
I don't know how I feel about a Scion in this composition. They are going to have too much dive. Their late game is going to actually suffer if they go with a Scion here.
They did go with the Scion.
I just feel like it doesn't make sense. If you're going to go with a composition that's meant to stall the game, Scion is meant for that mid-game team fighting, as his ultimate can be as destructive as like a Sejuani ultimate. But when you have a Ziggs, granted they do have an okay mid-game, but Ziggs is more meant to like let your team slowly like just stack kind of thing. Like a Hecarim. I'm not going to say Nasus because Nasus can get really bullied. Mundo, Gnar would be also really good. I just feel the Scion's slightly out of place.
Yeah, obviously they picked it because they wanted someone big and tanky to have on the front line, but like you mentioned, Scion it's not really one that peels. So he's going to be with Rek'Sai and Scion. A lot of those are going to be trying to dive onto the back line of Elixir, which could leave Ziggs and Jinx extremely vulnerable to the likes of Maokai, Vayne, Urgot, getting into the back line of Supernova and causing havoc that way.
Yeah, and when you just look at Elixir's team comp, though they do have a Heimerdinger's goal in the fight is going to be to click R, click his turret, and click Hourglass, and just let the rest of his team just do whatever they want, because he has done his job at that point. It's going to be difficult, though, if Jinx gets any sort of an assist in a fight. If Heimerdinger goes down too early, or if Urgot hyperkinetic thingamajiggies the wrong person.
Position reverser.
If he hyperkinetic position reverses the wrong person and he dies too fast, Jinx is going to be untouchable.
Yeah, as soon as they get excited, passive goes off, Jinx can just reposition throughout the fight and be perfectly safe. But a lot of this matchup is going to come down to positioning, especially when you have a Vayne. That Vayne automatically just means that the positioning is going to be extremely important throughout the course of team fights. Looking at the different matchups, it is going to be Scion versus Heimerdinger in the top lane. The junglers are Rek'Sai and Maokai. Mid lane should be Ziggs versus Urgot. And then the bottom lane of Vayne and Nautilus versus Jinx and Thresh. So the only big difference in summoner spells being that mid lane, where Urgot has the Ignite, while Ziggs opted for a Barrier.
Barrier is, I don't want to say weird on a Ziggs, but against an Urgot, it's definitely something that they're going to need. If Urgot's able to hit that acid onto the Ziggs and just slowly rain down with the spam of his Qs, Ziggs is going to get very low very fast. And I don't know if Ziggs is going to be able to handle that. The Barrier is almost saying, I'm going to lose lane. I'm just going to click Q, throw those bombs, try to keep safe. Just do whatever I can do to survive this lane. It just seems that Elixir has a much better team composition, though, as they actually can dive the backline very effectively, especially assuming that at least one of them is going to be getting Righteous Glory. Nova, on the other hand, doesn't really have the best dive until Sion joins the fight, and he kind of has to just run at you. If someone tanks that, it's like, rip.
Yeah, pretty much. We are now getting on over to the loading screen, which does mean we get to see what lovely skins the two teams are going to be wearing on the Rift once it actually does decide to load. There we go.
League of Legends.
And it is going to be for Elixir, a Piltover Customs Heimerdinger, Haunted Maokai, Giant Enemy Crabgot, Arclight Vayne, and Astro Nautilus.
The Crab God. I
Crab
see it.
got.
And on red team, we're going to have that Eternum Rek'Sai in the jungle, Blood Moon Thresh on support, Master Arcanus Ziggs in the mid lane. That's a beautiful skin. I'm sorry. Jinx, classic Jinx on AD carry, and classic Sion in the top lane. Okay, well, this game's over. This screen's already determined the winner. Yeah. We're done here, boys. Back it up.
Not only are they in LCS order, they also have skin advantage. I don't know. I don't see a way for Supernova to be able to win this one at this point.
Yeah,
there's just so much going against them.
Especially Sion hasn't bought items yet. Oh, now he has. Okay, he was late though.
No, I actually haven't seen the Master Arcanist Ziggs in game yet, so
you're
pretty excited
about to have your jaw dropped. I got to see it yesterday. That thing has such... It's like you're watching... Someone described it as like a Diablo raid, or a big boss fight. The graphics are just that beautiful.
Well, I'm certainly going to be looking forward to it, as both teams are just getting themselves positioned up, getting some wards down, trying to find out where each other are starting. Vayne is going to be walking into Rek'Sai, Jinx, and Thresh. That sentence not going to connect, though. So that was very close there for Mean Dean, going a little bit too far out on his own.
Hey, but he got the ward down, 100% worth.
Hey, he got the ward down and he didn't get caught out for it. So, but if that death sentence had connected, we may have been singing a different tune here.
Are we singing? La, la, la. That's all I know. It's the only song I know.
So that was a beautiful harmony.
Oh, was it? Okay. Perfect.
So minion spawning, looks like we are just gonna be seeing a pretty standard start. Looks like Maokai gonna be starting off on the Gromp, while Rek'Sai does the same. Sion gonna be starting with those Raptors, gonna be getting himself executed there. Nothing new.
Look
pretty
at
much
that.
Standard.
It's beautiful. Watch the bomb. Just look at this. Throw a bomb. Yeah, look at that.
That actually is really cool. Although it looks almost like it almost looks like what I would expect Ryze's Q to look like.
Yeah, look, and he's missing all of them. Come on, you want to see the explosions? Oof, a lot of trade damage going onto Ziggs though. Good thing he has barrier.
He'll definitely need that if things get too aggressive in the mid lane. Right now, in the bottom, Most likely just going to be waiting for the level 2. Jinx does have that big range advantage over Vayne, so can try and get some serious bullying done there. But once Nautilus hits level 3 or 4, I expect the side of Elixir to be a bit more aggressive. But for now, it's definitely going to be Thresh and Jinx having the advantage down here.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for the bottom lane of Elixir to even try to make a play. As long as Nova has any decent-sized minion wave, if they fight in the minion wave, they're going to already take a lot of harass. And if they just simply get a hook, or try to get a hook, I should say, it's nearly going to be impossible. Just like there, though, Thresh actually getting caught out with a hook as I say that, and Thresh going to just go and hook that minion. Jinx going to try and throw a couple shots off, but Rek'Sai now coming up into this top lane, he is actually going to be able to land that stun onto them and just kind of swag walk away.
Yeah, just making his presence felt up top, or her presence.
Thank you.
His being the player, okay? Tyler Combs is indeed a male, I know that much.
Rek'Sai coming back into this top lane. He's taking a lot of damage from those turrets, but here comes the Maokai into this bot lane. The exhaust is going down onto the Jinx, and Jinx is going to be able to take that Lantern to safety. Still going to take quite a bit of damage for it. A good hook onto the Maokai. Maokai might be in a bad situation. That's going to be first blood going down onto the Jinx. Maokai simply just didn't know when to leave.
Yeah, staying a little bit too long is a issue that hits a lot of people when you just think that you're so close to getting that kill and you really want that first blood, but unfortunately right there it completely backfired, giving that extra gold over to Jinx, and that's definitely not going to make Mean Dean very happy down in this bottom lane.
Yeah, especially now Jinx has double buffs, so she can just spam to her heart's content. It's not really the biggest problem on Jinx to always be in rocket form, but now she can just do it even more. She can throw those zaps, she can make more aggressive plays with chompers. It's not going to be fun for me, TLDR.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely joking is definitely not going to be joking as these rockets continue to harass the Vayne. Oh, Vayne just in a bad situation. Already starting to fall behind in CS because of this.
Ooh, Nautilus going to be going in, but he's not really in any position to contest this Jinx. Chompers went down, he had to walk around, and he walks right back in, taking a lot of harass.
Yeah, Jinx just doing a really good job, definitely joking, continuing just rocket after rocket pelting into these two. And Maokai was over there, thought about maybe going in, but there's nothing that he could have done.
Yeah, as weird as it sounds, Maokai needs to go and undo his mistake he made in that lane. He needs to either get that Jinx to just lose her double buffs, or he needs to pressure somewhere else on this map. And looking at how the lanes are pushed, I don't know if he can.
Yeah, really, there's not too much opportunity for him. Heimerdinger, Heimerdinger is always going to have that lane pushed up because that's just what Heimerdinger does. And then with how far ahead that Jinx is now going to be, both AD carries going back, Jinx getting a BF sword while Vayne gets a Vamp Scepter. That is not going to be fun. Jinx is going to just continue to press this advantage, and definitely joking and Based just going to have a wonderful time in this bottom lane. Like, that is a dream situation for a duo lane right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. Vampiric Scepter is like the best item in the game, so Vayne is ahead, clearly. It's not like BF Sword gives like so much damage. He sweeped the pink word. It's not like it gives so much damage that it makes the Vamp Scepter irrelevant or anything, right? Maybe?
Oh, Scion, you gotta use that E to hit those turrets and just throw them out of the way so you don't even have to worry about them.
Oof. That hook barely missed both of them. Nautilus almost walked into it just like, hey, how's it going? Oh, nope. Ooh, a really good hook. Dredgeline went down onto the Jinx, and Thresh going to be using that flay to be able to knock them away. Vayne's going to get a lot of damage down onto this Thresh, and dude, I told you, Vamp Scepter, best item in the game.
Evidently, as Based's hooks from Thresh just not quite connecting, while Nautilus doing a much better job with his skill shot. As White Gecko just going to be throwing down that Cyan ultimate, get himself back into lane. Saving the teleport. You know, figure that ultimate's going to be up again before you actually need it, so why not go for it?
Yeah, Cyan just kind of wasted it. Right now, it really doesn't seem he's going to be needing it, and it really looks like Blue Team wants to pressure this dragon. I don't know why Maokai randomly just stopped. I don't... No compro. He really didn't do anything. Maybe he got scared by the Ziggs leaving lane. And, hey, look, now Rek'Sai is like, hey, look, maybe I want to do dragon. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, just getting a tunnel in there. But it is going to be pinged out. They know that this is happening, but lots of roaming going on. We could end up with a small skirmish here.
Ooh, Vayne's gonna be hooked by that Thresh. Vayne's gonna have to flash and heal away while Nautilus just tries to do as much damage to the Jinx as possible. Jinx is very low on mana. One more rocket will take her pretty much out of that range advantage. But Rek'Sai showing up, they really don't want to fight.
Yeah, not fighting in that bottom lane is just not a good idea right now for Elixir, but Thresh.
Ooh, another good hook right into the flight. Rek'Sai trying to unburrow onto the Maokai. Maokai gonna be very low, but is gonna be able to get away. The exhaust does go down onto the Jinx, and Rek'Sai very low also had to flash away as well. The Condemn just shooting the Jinx back just to make sure she doesn't really try to dive onto that Maokai, but really doesn't have too much of a potential to. Red team gonna just do what they do, it looks like. Just shove the lane, try to deny the Vayne as much as possible.
And Jinx has been level 6, but I don't think she had enough mana to fire off the ultimate onto Maokai. Otherwise, it very likely would have been a kill. But then got too used to having that blue buff, maybe. And figure it was just spamming those rockets, and just when it came time for the ultimate, didn't have anything left.
Mm-hmm. That might have actually been what happened. She came to lane and kind of just like fast pushed it with her rocket form. She was in fish bones.
Which, I mean, it happens. When you're an AD carry, you're not used to having blue buff early on in the game. So, like, especially on a Jinx, you get an early blue buff and you're just like, oh man, I can just shoot out these rockets all day. And then the blue buff goes away and you're just like, wait, where'd my mana go? I've been using my rockets all the time. Why do I not have mana now? That
feel. Ooh, Jinx taking quite a bit of damage as well as Thresh. Ooh, that dredge line. That, like, nicked his shirt, but didn't want to pull him in.
Jinx still continuing to harass, though. Starting to build up a really solid CS lead. Almost 20 CS. That ultimate, that has a...
I told you, this skin is beautiful.
It really is. These animations are so good.
And right now, it's only 975. Like, there's skins that are 975 that don't even change what color the person's hair is. Like... I think it's a 1350. I think it's on sale.
Yeah, it is currently on sale, but...
I wish I played Ziggs.
Heimerdinger. We haven't really talked too much about the top lane because, honestly, when there's a Heimerdinger, there's nothing... you pretty much know the junglers aren't going to be doing anything up there because Heimerdinger's jungler can't gank because he's always pushed up. But despite him always being pushed up, Tyler Coombs tried to gank up there a couple times. It just didn't really work out because Heimerdinger's so difficult to gank with those turrets. So, tower is going to be down. We'll get that global gold and actually put a slight gold lead in favor of Elixir because of it. However, just one tower is not going to be really enough. Here comes a teleport down, though.
Heimerdinger going to be throwing that teleport. Might have been a bit preemptive. Maybe the pink ward was worth his teleport. You'll never know. But it doesn't really look like there's going to be a fight. Ziggs was motioning to go towards bot lane, but looks like he's going to opt to go to mid and just be there as kind of a person to throw his ultimate if he's needed. But now Blue Team actually, interesting enough, is going to start the dragon. The members of Red Team are going to try to get there. Here comes the teleport from Sion. He's going to try to get into this fight, but it looks like they're actually walking away. Deathguard going down onto the Jinx, and Rek'Sai getting bursted very low. The Maokai could be doing a lot of damage, and Urgot could be able to take down the Thresh in this fight. Jinx going to be getting a double kill, and is excited. Is going to be trying to run through this fight. That's actually a triple kill for Jinx here. I don't know who... No, Sion got the 4th kill. I was going to be like, is this going to be the Penta? Ziggs very low, does pop his barrier, and the Urgot might be in a bad spot. He's gonna try to get Ziggs. Ziggs almost gonna be taken down. Is gonna go down to that Q. That Ziggs, but that's gonna be a 3 for 5. And red team gets Dragon. Baron, jeez. Where are we at?
You have to wonder if that's even really worth it for the Urgot there. He could have just gotten out and, you know, maybe gone and gotten some CS or something. Instead, yeah, he did get the kill on Ziggs, but he gave another kill over to Jinx. Jinx now sitting at 5-0-1 is going to be going back and buying a lot. That was a ton of gold that you just funneled onto the enemy AD carry, already finishing off the Infinity Edge, 13 minutes in, and boots. Like, this Jinx is going to be, I mean, if Vayne thought it was bad before, it's going to be horrid now. Vayne's still not quite able to get the Blade of the Ruin King, which is what she is rushing, but Jinx with already a completed item and upgraded boots, that's going to be a difficult Jinx to deal with.
Plus, also, on the side of Urgot, a lot of times when you see that trade, it's kind of like, well, that 300 gold bought him an item. He's sitting on 400 gold right now. So he didn't even get anything with that kill he got. And Jinx was able to finish Berserker Greaves. Vayne's so low, is going to be healing, but is going to go down. Chompers go down, and Nautilus is also in a bad spot. One more auto, and he's done. Jinx to 7-0. Oh, God. 7-0 Vaynes. That'd be scary.
Yeah, but definitely joking. Really coming up big for Supernova. And he is a new addition to the team. They did just switch up their roster pretty heavily. It was actually for last week, but they didn't get to play because of a forfeit. So this is the first game that they played with this new roster.
Rek'Sai going into the mid lane, and that's going to be the hyperkinetic switcheroo, as well as Maokai coming in with that Vengeful Maelstrom. He is not going to have the damage, but Urgot's Ignite is going to be able to take him down. Rek'Sai is running. Well, tunneling. Thingamajiggying. Rek'Sai might have actually just... Nope, she's going to walk away. That might have been bad, though.
Yeah, it was it could have been, but we'll be able to stave off this tower. However, in the bottom lane, Jinx just... oh my goodness. Wow, those crits are just devastating for Vayne to deal with. However, this should be a mid tower going down in favor of Elixir. So while, yeah, Jinx is super fed at 7-0 and will be able to just start melting towers, right now it's Elixir is the ones that are getting all these objectives.
Thresh condemned into the wall, and Vayne's going to be going forward. Is going to go into the Chompers, but will be able to pick up that kill. She cannot walk up to this Jinx, though, as Nautilus going very low as well. She has Super Mega Death Rocket, but does not have the mana for it. Well, good trade, though.
A Super Mega Death Rocket there would have been a double kill, but you don't have the mana. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely would have been.
Still, though, Jinx with a, continuing to just pile up a lead. Oh.
Vayne, with this hair on her chinny chin, like, just jumped away from those chompers.
Quick reaction times from Mean Bean, keeping him alive. And, he's got to be a little bit upset. Jinx is sitting with 7 kills, and he's only died twice.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst feelings. Be like, man, I was doing at least okay, and my opponent's just super fed now. There's not much I can do.
It's really sad when stuff like that happens. We've all seen it in our solo queue games. You win lane, and then all of a sudden that mid LeBlanc roams and gets 7 kills, and then you're just like, why does this LeBlanc have 40 items, and I just finished my hourglass or whatever item you rush on your mid lane champion. But as optimistic as it sounds, it's not all bad for Elixir. They have a comp that is meant to dive this AD carry. If it works, I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't.
And of course, once Vayne hits her late game stride, she's going to be able to deal with the Jinx. Yeah, they're both hyper carries, but Vayne is just known for being able to jump in and deal a ton of damage and get out. So she does have the potential to be able to shut down the Jinx late game. There is finally the first tower getting picked up.
Sion gonna be using his ultimate right onto the Heimerdinger. That's gonna be the flash from Rek'Sai coming in, and that will be a kill onto the Queen of the Desert. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, that hook is gonna land, but he opts to not go in. Chompers also did miss, and red team really needs to just take this turret and start putting pressure on the map. They left that turret up for way too long. Zig's ultimate coming in, and the Super Mega Death Rocket is gonna hit, but Mega Inferno Bomb does not.
Yeah, Vayne with the nice tumble once again to avoid death. That's the second time we've seen her pretty much what would have been a certain kill if she hadn't diffused it at the right time.
Diffused it. I like that. Ziggs, bombs.
Yeah.
I like that.
But, you know, getting those 2 towers, evening up the tower score is going to put Supernova in the lead on gold by about 4,000 here. And now that that bottom tower is gone, Jinx is going to be able to start roaming around the map with Thresh and putting pressure everywhere else, and start using the fact that you have those 7 kills on to, definitely joking, to start getting everyone else a lot stronger as well.
Right now, with Dragon coming up in 5 seconds, red team just needs to rotate and take this Dragon and just try to do something. Bot lane, you can leave Vayne to free farm right now. As bad as that sounds, if you're 4v5ing, she can get as fed as she wants. She's not relevant in the fight. The Nautilus is going to be going in with that dredge line. A really good Chomper is going to stop the rest of the blue team from going in, and that's going to be Nautilus going down, so I'm going to be going in with that ultimate just to try to get some damage down. Heimerdinger turret goes down, and a beautiful ult in a Q by Ziggs is going to be able to take that down. Hyperkinetic Swapperoo is going to be trying to get Jinx down, and it will. Vayne, though, might go down to Ziggs. Another bomb is just going to do it with a passive. Will take him down. Maokai just literally went to his death. And that will be a 4 for 2 in favor of red team, and a definite Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get onto Jinx that time, which is good, and they got the shutdown. But the problem there was it was just a little bit too staggered for Elixir. I mean, that was still a good fight for them. The end result wasn't, but knowing that they can get onto Jinx, and if they're all together, that they might be able to win a fight if they do go in as a group instead of, I believe it was Nautilus that got caught out a little bit there. But the fact that they were still able to get Jinx down and had a chance to get out of there at least with a couple more members alive is promising.
Urgot might be in a bad situation here as the death sentence just goes wide, but here comes the Heimerdinger. Gonna just throw down that stun. Is it gonna hit it? It will hit onto Ziggs. He will pop his barrier, take the lantern, go on his merry way. But really, that fight, as you said, it really looks like 3 different team fights. You saw when Nautilus went in, then you saw when Sion went in, and then you saw when everyone suicided.
Pretty much, yeah. Not the cleanest of fights for either side, but it is Supernova getting the small advantage off of it, which, of course, we talk about it all the time here with Last, is that if a team just continuously gets the victories in the small skirmishes, it does just add up and become an insurmountable lead. It's not at that point yet. It's not even close to that point yet, but they do need to be careful on the side of Elixir that they don't keep giving these small victories over to the side of Supernova.
I just want to mention, Heimerdinger just killed 3 pink wards.
Yep.
2 in the same bush. That's a Heimerdinger auto-attacking something 10 or 15 times.
But you know what? It's
90 gold.
Yeah, 90 gold and it's 300 gold off the board of the enemy team, so.
That was just funny to watch a Heimerdinger. Like, if this was the LCS, Heimerdinger gonna get hooked in with that death sentence, and Heimer looks like he is in a bad spot. Gonna get exploded on. And blue team really doesn't have much to do. Maokai gonna be caught on the other end of the Chompers, and the rest of Elixir is not gonna be able to get there. That Vengeful Maelstrom might be able to tank, but you ain't gonna live forever. Now Sion gonna be popping that ultimate. Urgot is gonna just seem to be the next victim of Supernova's aggression. And that's a 3 for nothing.
I mean, you mentioned it's Supernova's aggression, but honestly, that was a little bit of Elixir's aggression too. Like, Maokai went in with the twisted advance when he had no business going in. He could have definitely just backed out of there, but instead tried to go aggressive, tried to get in. Yeah, you're tanky, but like you mentioned, it's nowhere near tanky enough, especially when no one else from your team is there to follow up. And just more kills going over to Supernova. Jinx now at 8-1-6, 5-2-7 for the Ziggs. And Supernova is starting to increase this gold lead, about 8,000 gold in their favor, 4-3 on towers.
Yeah, Jinx is really using her chompers nearly perfectly in these fights. Someone goes in, she throws down the chompers. The rest of blue team simply cannot go forward. Elixir just has to sit there and look. And if they try to go forward, well, you see. Someone got stuck in the chompers. I think it was the Urgot. Sion popped his ultimate, and he just got murdered.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's first reactions with the Jinx is to, when someone goes in aggressively, to try and put the chompers in front of them or underneath them so that they get caught on them. But what you actually want to do is what you're seeing here from Definitely Joking. You put the chompers behind them so that, one, they can't just back out, but more importantly, the rest of the team cannot get in.
Ooh, that's going to be a hyper-kinetic swapperoo onto Jinx, and Jinx is in a bad spot. Going to be taken down by the Urgot. Thresh might be the next victim of this. Zig's going to try to do as much damage as possible. Going to be using a huge ultimate, but here comes the Sion. Sion going to be coming in and just trying to CC lock everyone. Maokai going to be the next victim, and Vayne going to be trying to come into this fight. Just going to be auto-attacking this Sion down. Sion going very low, but Vayne just simply getting knocked up. Vayne going to be able to take that kill next, but Ziggs can take more. Ziggs just taking down this Vayne, and Ziggs is also kind of huge. I think we kind of missed that.
Well, I mean, he's just been getting fed off of these fights while everyone's been focusing the Jinx. You know, and they had to focus Jinx. She was the biggest threat, but it's gotten to a point where now Ziggs is also legendary and is doing a ton of damage, and just picked up multiple kills for the team in what looked like, oh boy.
Heimerdinger was like, why is my rocket not working? Here it is.
Yeah, that was, again, they got the Jinx. It was a beautiful ultimate from Shy Jim to get Jinx completely out of position. They got the kill on Jinx, they got the kill on Thresh, but they didn't account for Sion, Rek'Sai, and Ziggs to be doing that much damage. I mean, it took them a long time to kill the Thresh. He has the Mikhail's Crucible and is starting to build up a Warden's Mill, very likely going to be looking for a Randuin's. But it took them a long time to actually take him down in that fight. So despite the fact that they got hugely advantageous positioning, took out the AD carry before anything even started, in the end, just Supernova a little bit too far ahead at this point.
Yeah, I am getting very weird graphics bugs. I'm seeing people just standing still right now, and I'm a little concerned. I have no idea what's going on here.
Well, we are going to be seeing Dragon actually being started off by Elixir, and it will be going down to Elixir. Here comes the Ziggs ultimate, going to be doing a lot of damage, and Sion getting in behind everybody. There's a Super Deathmark coming through, doing some more damage. There's already 2 kills picked up. Hyperkinetic Position Reverser doesn't do anywhere near enough, and that Heimerdinger ultimate turret way at the back of Dragon Pit, not going to do anything either. That's 4 kills picked up for the side of Supernova. Only Vayne left alive. So Supernova just going to look to push down this mid lane. They've got minions with them. Nope, I thought maybe they were going to go for the inhibitor turret, but instead they want to go for Baron.
Baron is a really interesting call here. They pretty much want to snowball this lead as hard as they can, and they really are just gonna try to do it.
Yeah, pretty easy pickup. They've got it. No, with Vayne being the only one alive, there wasn't too much contest that she could have put up. So just keeping her there to clear out minion waves. Definitely the right call from Elixir, but that is going to be the Baron picked up for Supernova. And now they should just be able to honestly pick a lane and shove it out, and there's not really much that Elixir can do to stop it. They have very subpar wave clearing, really only Heimerdinger being an exceptional wave clearer on the team.
I'm back. Hooray!
And so I'm not really sure how well they're going to be able to defend if Supernova does decide to just go for a siege.
See, in this situation, with Supernova being up by 12k gold, if they just 1-3-1, they send Scion top, they put either Ziggs Rek'Sai Thresh in mid or Jinx Rek'Sai Thresh in mid, and put the other one in bot lane, every lane is going to shove. They either 5v3 in mid, which I still don't even think they have a better fight. They could still definitely take out 3 people, but at what cost? While the other lanes just slowly shove up, and it's almost looking like that's what they're going to do. And the reaction from Elixir is to just try to shove mid.
Yeah, Scion pushing top lane, 3 members pushing bottom. Just going to be throwing Ziggs in the mid for that wave clear, which could actually hold them at bay, especially with that ultimate almost killing Heimerdinger. There's just so much damage, and there goes one turret for sure. Very likely going to be picking up the one in top as well. And Ziggs successfully holding off the rest of the team at that mid tower. So things definitely looking to go in Supernova's favor. Possible fight coming in the bottom lane.
Forgot, is he going to get in range? I don't think he's going to be able to get in range. He is going to be throwing some damage down onto the Rek'Sai, but it's not really going to do much. Ziggs finding the tree is going to be trying to jump away, but there's no way this Groot is going to be able to take down this Ziggs. The rest of the red team is going to try to just peel for him. That is the depth charge going down onto Jinx. Jinx is going to be getting that Mikael's, but isn't really going to be able to do too much. Scion coming from the back of that fight, but there's no blue team members for him to get that ultimate. And there goes the Urgot.
Yeah,
Vayne,
nice. It's a nice snap connecting onto Urgot. Super Mega Death Rocket.
Heal.
Not quite enough.
The heal.
But either way, that's still 2 down for the side of Elixir. And Supernova with this Baron buff still just going to be taking this bottom inhibitor with ease.
Ooh, the flash forward from Jinx. That's going to be another kill. They're going to maybe try to get onto Jinx with that twisted advance, but this almost looks like it could be game. Heimerdinger going very low as well. Ziggs ultimate being a bit wide, but Jinx going to be able to take down that kill, and this is almost certainly game.
Yeah, these towers are just getting absolutely melted. Jinx is just way too strong. There is the second Nexus turret down, and they're turning their attention onto the Nexus. Urgot, Nautilus, and Heimerdinger just not able to do enough, and that is going to be the game going over to the side of Supernova, putting the pressure on their Virginia rivals, Team Cave Gaming, to have to win later on in the week. 28-10, the final score at 30 minutes. Supernova picking up the victory. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, that game is the literal snowball that you see in a lot of solo queue, or it happens in tournaments a lot. That was just one team got ahead and it snowballed forever.
Yep. And that is going to do it for that game. We are going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, you want to stick around. We have one more game left for you, and it is going to be, if I can get my thing right, Legendary Threats taking on Redshift Gaming. Another very important game, as Legendary Threats hopes to keep their dreams of finishing first in the division alive. And so stick around. We will be back in just a few moments.